Today I'm going to run through 5 things you should always remember before you take your dog wild camping. Number 1, and this is the biggest thing, is how nervous and comfortable is your dog with being around new areas, new places. Because when you're in a tent overnight, there's a lot of noises. There's insects outside, there could be people that walk past in the evening, and you want to make sure your dog's calm, quiet, collective, and they're not going to get too nervous in the night and start barking, because that's going to give you a bad night's sleep, and it's also not going to be any good for them either. This time of year, this one isn't such a big deal, but coming into the winter, coming into late autumn, it can be a bit of a problem, is how warm is your dog going to be overnight? Now, one of the things I always bring with me for Chico to sleep on is this lovely yellow blanket. It packs down quite small, and it always means that he's warm overnight because we can wrap him up in it, he can lie on top of it in the summer, and that's one of the biggest things. You just want your dog to be comfortable overnight, like you would be in your sleeping bag. They want to be nice and warm too. Another thing to consider when you go wild camping is the hike involved with getting to your campsite location. Luckily today we really haven't had to come very far. We're about 500 yards from the car, and that's because we've got the landowner's permission to be here and camp overnight. But for instance, normally if I was in the Lake District, I could be hiking 5, 10, 15 miles to find a campsite. And that's a long way, especially if your dog only walks 1 or 2 miles a day. They could be a bit unfit, and it could take its toll, and you don't want that happening. And you've also got to remember, you've got to walk that distance back in the morning as well. If you do 15 miles in, 15 miles out, you need to make sure your dog's comfortable with walking upwards of 30 miles. The next thing to consider is how secure is your tent. There you go, I think Chico's just gonna sit there for the shot. How secure is your tent? For instance, this tent's got a really good low porch in it. There's no chance of Chico escaping. He was inside with us last night though. The reason for that is if he gets spooked in the night, if he hears a noise he doesn't quite like, we're relatively near a motorway here. It's not worth them running off into the night and you not being able to find them. So you always want to make sure wherever you're wild camping that your tent is secure enough and your dog's calm enough that they're not going to try and escape in the night. This is the last tip, and it's the most important. Just general health and well-being of the dog. That means taking enough water, taking enough food, taking any medical supplies, any bandages, anything like that, because anything can happen to them while you're out, just like us. We can be out, we can run out of water, we can get dehydrated, we can get hungry, and you need to be thinking like that for your dog as well. At the end of the day, we all treat our dogs with a lot of love, and we just want them to be as comfortable as possible while doing these things. I love bringing Chico while camping, and he really enjoys it as well. He loves coming in the tent with us at night, cuddling up, and it's a brilliant experience. So just generally remember that health and well-being side, and double up. Make sure you've got enough supplies for your dog for however long you're going for. Thank you for watching the video today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I think Chico's getting a bit squirmish now and he wants to go off and do something else. Hopefully it's given you a few ideas of just the things you should be remembering before you take your dog wild camping. I'll see you next time.